Most hunger cues are actually dehydration because your brain actually uses the same signal pathways for thirst and hunger. This is day 17 of Get Quenched, and today we're unraveling one of the most common and most misunderstood confusions in the whole human body, which is the fact that your brain uses overlapping neural pathways to signal both thirst and hunger, which means that the vast majority of the time when you think that you're hungry, especially if you have unintentional chronic dehydration like most people do, especially if it's between meals or if it's a vague low-level craving rather than an actual true stomach growling hunger, then you're actually just thirsty and your body is desperately trying to get water from any source available, including food, because food is supposed to have a higher water content, at least in nature. So here's why this happens. The hypothalamus, which is the part of your brain that actually regulates homeostasis, including hydration status, and also including energy balance, uses very similar signaling pathways for both thirst and hunger. So when you're dehydrated, the signal can actually get misinterpreted as a need for food because your body expects to get water from natural food, but we're eating such dry processed food nowadays that we actually don't. Plus, when you're chronically dehydrated, the proteins and the receptors that are in your brain that are responsible for detecting your hydration status, they end up not functioning properly because they themselves need enough water to function. So your whole thirst mechanism becomes blunted over time, over years of unintentional chronic dehydration, and can even become completely shut off, meaning that most people have actually lost the ability to accurately sense whether or not they're thirsty, because dry mouth is not the only signal. Our cells have their own signals. On top of that, the lamina terminalis, which is the specific brain structure that's responsible for monitoring osmolarity and for triggering thirst, that part of the brain is kind of easily fooled because throughout all of evolutionary history, if you encountered a liquid, it was probably water or something water rich or hydrating, like fatty raw milk or something. So your brain assumes that if you're drinking any liquid, coffee, soda, juice, alcohol, all these diuretics that actually dehydrate you, it assumes that you must be quenching your thirst like our ancestors would have with liquids, even though those liquids, again, are doing exactly the opposite, actively dehydrating you. And the result of all of this, long story short, is that everyone is walking around here chronically dehydrated, but experiencing it as hunger cravings or low energy or mood swings. And then they respond by eating when what they actually need is water or, fascial flow or lymphatic flow or hydrating practices like grounding their feet on the earth and staring at the sun, or at the very least, water-rich living foods. So here's the simple protocol to distinguish thirst from hunger. Whenever you feel hungry between meals, or whenever you have a craving for something that's sweet or salty, try drinking 6 to 18 ounces of salted water, lightly salted, not much, or mineral-rich water, like with bean minerals or something like that. Drink 8 to 16 ounces of that water first, and then wait 10 to 15 minutes. And if the hunger disappears, then it was thirst. If it persists or if it intensifies, it's genuine hunger, and of course you should eat. Another rule of thumb is that if it's a specific craving for a specific food, but your tummy isn't growling, you probably need mineral-rich, electrolyte-balanced water, because there's something in your cells, there's something that your cells want from that food, even if your stomach is already technically satisfied. Kind of being a human body of water 101. This practice alone can totally transform your relationship with food and eliminate mindless snacking and support healthy weight management, not to mention healthy hydration practices, and help you tune back into your body's actual needs. So comment hydration workbook to get the 28-day guide so that you can follow along with daily prompts and journaling to help you integrate each of these habits on a day-to-day basis and return to it all year long, or comment Quenched to receive these daily lessons via email. You show up for yourself by inviting this wisdom directly into your inbox instead of waiting for the algorithm to send you these videos. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow. Be well and be water, my friend.